huge furnace glowing with heat. That is the place where the human genius harnessed the power of fire, putting it to constructive use. Here the bread of economy, metal, is baked from ore and scrap at enormously high temperatures. The demand for copper is especially high in our age of electronics. The global copper production is steadily growing, processing techniques and technologies are improving. Smelters and refineries are being built and upgraded worldwide. In 2003, in Veliki Novgorod, away from the traditional Russian metallurgical centers, the Russian copper company embarked on an ambitious project, building and launching the Novgorod Metallurgical Plant.
Это был первый российский инвестор, русский инвестор, который вкладывал деньги здесь, в строительство завода. Это было очень приятно.
The Novgorod plant has been processing high and low-grade copper scrap for over 15 years. Wires, cables, pipe sections, everything that has served its purpose and became discarded is giving a new life, being turned into top-quality copper cathodes and copper rod. Metal is recovering by using the state-of-the-art equipment and through joint efforts of a cohesive and committed team of employees. The timeline of the plant features unique and pioneering technologies, new turns in employees' life and participation in the life of Veliki Novgorod, one of the oldest cities in Russia. Everything started with the daring decision the investor made in February 2002, when the investor ventured to turn abandoned house-building factory on the outskirts of Novgorod into metallurgical plant.
Завод в городе ждали. Правда, были противники, но тем не менее, в целом все понимали пользу от этого завода, от того, что здесь будет создано 500 рабочих мест, совершенно отличительных от того, что было раньше.
Previously, the industrial site sparked no interest among manufacturers. The facilities had been abandoned for over 10 years. The scope of required work was enormous, and the renovation project looked unfeasible and unachievable. Then the Russian copper company arrived, bringing construction workers to revitalize the outdated, empty facilities.
Была собрана такая интересная творческая команда, и мы были этой командой буквально вот это время поглощены вот этим проектом.
It took slightly more than a year, a record time, to demolish old concrete structures, restore the dismantled utility lines, lay foundations, install the equipment and put it into operation.
С утра до вечера приходилось заниматься и инжинирингом, и менять решения, то есть буквально на ходу. Точно так же, как и все, я жил на этой производственной площадке. Вспоминаю такой случай интересный, смешной. Начальник кокса Татьяна Игоревна меня спрашивает: Сил Вадимович, у вас вот окна выходят на стройплощадку, там компрессор работает, ночью вам он дает спать? Я говорю: Татьяна Игоревна, он когда не работает, я просыпаюсь.
The Novgorod region is not rich in ore deposits. It has no iron or copper smelting traditions or established practices. In other words, the area looked quite unsuitable for plant location, except that it fitted perfectly into the Finnish concept of mini recycling plants. Such plants demand on-transport accessibility rather than on mineral deposits. The northwest of Russia is an industrial region rich in scrap copper. It has an extensive highway and rail network. Another attractive feature is its proximity to the seaport of St. Petersburg, which means lower transportation costs of raw materials and finished products. Scrap copper is daily delivered to the Novgorod plant and then is briquetted under pressure. Each briquette weighs around 150 kilograms. Then briquettes, like bouillon cubes, are added to the red-hot soup cooked in a copper smelting furnace. High-grade briquetted copper scrap is melted in the Merz furnace. The entire process, from scrap charging to copper boring, takes 24 hours. The molten metal flows down into special molds of the anode casting machine. The equipment and technique make it possible to cast ingots of the same weight and shape, which is very important for the further electrolytic process. Smelting products are anodes where the copper content is approximately 99.6%. The Merz furnace is the heart of the smelter. In addition to copper production, the furnace is responsible for the indoor environment. Metal smelting consumes around 60% of the furnace energy. The other 40%, in the form of hot flue gases, are delivered into the heat recovery system. Gases are cleaned from the dust particles and cooled down, heating the water in the heating system of the plant.
Что для нас дает этот агрегат? Предприятие делает полностью автономным в плане обеспечения тепловой энергии. Благодаря ему мы имеем возможность обогревать все наши помещения, как технические, так и административно-бытового комплекса.
The operation of the Merz furnace is fully automated, though some operations, such as slag removal, may need a human presence. At high temperatures, the equipment performance yields to the accuracy of human movement. An experienced furnace operator can compete with sensors in defining visually furnace parameters and metal readiness.
Особо опытные могут определить вплоть до разбросов 10-15 градусов металл. По цвету темнее, светлее. Чем темнее, тем холоднее. Чем спектр ближе к белому, тем горячее. Есть еще такое выражение и сине-белое, да, это значит очень горячее.
In 2003, Kishtim metal workers, well versed in furnace operation techniques, took part in the installation, setting up and launching the Merz furnace. They trained the personnel not familiar with the metallurgy. At present, the copper smelting department and other shops operated by professionals trained in Novgorod. The mechanical and repair department manufactures accessories for production, stainless steel plates for the electrolysis shop, metal elements for furnace cooling, parts for the anode casting machine. The Merz furnace neighbors the vessel designed by Finnish engineers. It made its world debut at the Novgorod Metallurgical Plant, where it was fundamentally upgraded. It is a TROF converter with a capacity of 30 tons. It processes low-grade copper scrap. Finland had its prototype having a capacity of 2.5 tons. In Novgorod, the equipment was installed for the smelting of brass and other copper alloys. After its launch, the TROF converter failed to reach its expected capacity. The engineers of the Novgorod plant rectified the problem.
Все крышки, газоходы были кирпичные. На данный момент все переведено на водоохлаждаемые кессонированные элементы. Буквально недавно мы провели еще одну модернизацию, устранили стаканы на горелках.
As of today, it is the only TROF converter in Russia and one of the 5 converters in the world. Through our engineers' efforts, it processes slags from the Merz furnace rather than low-grade scrap. It results in additional quantities of blister copper, while slag aggregates from the converter are used in construction and road work. They are very popular in the Novgorod region, characterized mostly by swampy terrain and having a high demand for building materials. Thus, the smelting goes zero waste. Before arriving at the electrolysis shop, copper anodes with purity of 99.6% go through the milling process, when the anode lug contact areas are milled for better electrical conductivity. In Novgorod, the job is performed by the anode preparation machine designed in Finland. Then the anodes are placed in tanks or cells filled with an acidic copper sulfate solution, which acts as an electrical conductor between the anode and cathode. When an electrical current is passed through each tank, the copper is stripped of the anode and is deposited on the cathode. The resulting grade cathode copper has purity of 99.99%. Such parameters are required by the electronic industry, placing a high priority on a high conductivity copper, free of impurities. The product quality is monitored by the Saturn electronic system, know-how of the Novgorod Metallurgical Plant. Infrared cameras mounted on the cranes detect short circuits affecting the electrolytic process and resulting in the increased power consumption. Scanning takes 5 minutes. Half an hour later, all the data are displayed on the screen. Then engineers can rectify the problem.
Своевременность устранения коротких замыканий, особенно в первые сутки работы серии, очень важны. И поэтому, тем самым, благодаря таким системам в том числе, это позволяет на ранних сроках это все выявлять и качественно вести процессы, как следствие выпускать качественную продукцию.
The final process, copper stripping, is as fascinating as the process of metal pouring. KUKA robots assembled at the Autotech, Finland, demonstrate incredible accuracy and speed. The Novgorod plant started using them when the former cathode stripping machine was no longer able to handle the volume of production. The space limits made us reject installation of traditional equipment, though it was an easier way. Using of robots was a perfect solution. They are compact and durable. They can handle the entire product output, which reaches 70,000 tons of copper cathodes a year.
Робототехника не более 5% вообще в промышленности России участвует. Я уже не говорю про металлургию. А на тот момент, когда мы запускали, мы были первые, да, кто в России у нас применил роботы-манипуляторы именно для сдирки катодов.
Product quality is checked by the Quality Control Department, where the chemical composition and physical appearance of copper are analyzed. Then, quality certificates are issued and the copper is ready to sell. Another product of the Novgorod Metallurgical Plant is copper rod. The rolling mill started its operation in 2004, being the final step in the process flow, from processing low and high-grade scrap to manufacturing high added value products. From the first days of the operation of the Novgorod plant, the Russian copper company showed itself as a reliable and community-focused investor with a strong foothold in the city. The company started getting involved in the life of the city once it's embarked on the plant construction. The design and most of the other work were entrusted to local contractors. Novgorod residents received jobs. Experienced metal workers from the Murmansk region, Urals and Kazakhstan were invited to train the personnel of the new plant. Some metal workers stayed in Novgorod, for example CEO Oleg Chernashtan. Today the plant ranks among the most stable employers in the Novgorod region.
Мы создали все условия для трудящихся, чтобы они с удовольствием приходили на работу, работали с максимальной производительностью. Это касается и организации бесплатного питания, это касается средств индивидуальной защиты и спецодежды.
It's our home and workplace. That's what our employees say. As residents, they're concerned about the environmental compliance. The plant takes care of cleaning off gases and slags from the copper smelting furnaces. Dust and the anode slime are recycled. The water recycling system has been put into operation. We use harvested and purified storm water in the production processes. Our environmental responsibility and a commitment to safety are provided by the landscape surrounding the plant. Believe it or not, but our metallurgical facilities operate amidst a thick forest. Over 15 years, the Novgorod Metallurgical Plant and the Russian Copper Company have created a new time model of industry. Zero-waste technologies, top-quality products, the employees who are ready to take on challenges and are confident about their future. Novgorod has become home for many metal workers who build families, raise children, and write new pages in the history of the ancient city.